So last year I developed something called the Lib 5, and I worked with 3 students, and we developed training for other librarians on how to make your libraries more inclusive. So my students were walking around the room doing some action-based research, right? Like, this is the first library that you've really been involved in. Why is that? Let's unpack and try to think of what's working here, and we can try to replicate it at other schools. And Jada wrote down, Black people look good. And she said, well, when I walk around this library, I don't just see Black people in books about civil rights or slavery. I just see Black people like living joyful lives, that all books don't have to be about the struggle. And she went on to say book covers and books that show people of color, for her specifically Black girls, living just normal lives in the present and not just in the past, was so meaningful for her. So The Hate You Give is this amazing YA novel. Maybe your students have already read that and they're ready for something new, or maybe you're looking for more books to add to your classroom library or to your library collection. I'd love to share some other titles with you that kind of carry on what started in The Hate You Give and that students have really responded to. So the most common read-alike to Hate You Give is Dear Martin by Nick Stone, another amazing story that deals with police brutality. Our main character ends up writing letters to Martin Luther King about the situation that he's in. So it's told in a really neat narrative structure. Ghost Boys, talking about narrative structure, is also a really intense, gripping story. It's a middle grade novel. So if you had younger students, this would be a great fit for that. I love Hate and Other Filters because it's coming at social justice issues, but with more of a romantic lens. So you might have students that are interested in reading romances. This is a great option because it also gets at other social justice issues like unfairness in the criminal justice system, racism, and bias against, in this case, different religions. All American Boys is kind of a modern classic. It is written by Jason Reynolds and Brendan Kiely, and it tells the story of 2 boys, one black, one white, and is definitely own voices. The 2 authors, one black, one white, kind of on different sides of a situation, and what happens is extremely powerful. Piecing Me Together is a beautiful book by Renee Watson. I love this story because in it, our main character is touched on police brutality. It happens in her community. It's not someone that she knows. So in The Hate You Give, Star was in the car. She was right there. In this novel, our heroine, it's happening in her community. And it's like, how is she going to react then? How is she going to use her voice to advocate? So it's extremely powerful. And then Shadowshaper by José Older. And I love this book because it comes at it through fantasy. So if you have students that are really interested in fantasy, you can still connect them to issues that involve the world and involve social justice, but it's coming at it through that kind of fantastical lens. These books are absolutely brilliant.